What's up and welcome back to the channel, you amazing, beautiful humans. One of the most validating parts of doing this and putting out free content for everybody is when you guys reciprocate by way of comments, likes, and shares. So if you haven't already done that, please give me a subscribe, hit that button. Let me know that you're out there loving it. The best parts on that note are the comments I get. The comments are basically endless, but one of the newest ones on one of my most recent videos was this one right here. Jay, I have learned more about Kittl from you in the last 2 years than by myself. Could you please maybe do Kittl shortcuts, tips, and tricks video? So of course, I replied, this is not even an hour old at the time. Yes, I sure can. Thanks for watching. So on that note, I just wanted to let you guys know that my strategy, if you don't know who I am, has been largely text-based and design-oriented. So I focus heavily on quality over quantity. This is consolidated after, but I've actually sold just over 103 or 104,000 t-shirts, and I'm only in tier 8,000 on Amazon alone, to the tune of right here, 1 million. I'm still not even used to saying it. 1.925 million, basically. I'm almost at the 2 million marker. So rest assured, I am going to throw myself some kind of, maybe little party, or maybe like in that Identify Rockstars group that you saw in the one video, maybe I'll bake myself a cake or something ridiculous. But actually, no, I'm not going to bake here. It's way too hot. But that said, the major part of the strategy for me, like I said, has always been quality over quantity. And I think that's evident, right? When you see that I've only got X amount of slots. I've got over 6,300 here, it looks like, slots available in tier 8,000. It's not about a spray and pray kind of MO for me. It's about quality stuff. And that said, I've also done over 1.5 million on Etsy. And they're telling you this not to boast or brag, but just to let you know that the quality approach is absolutely possible. Across 4 stores, the bulk of which was in 2 stores, total combined listings for those 2 Etsy stores is less than 400 listings. So it's just, the idea there is that out of 4 stores I have less than 1,000 listings on Etsy. My wife has like less than 300 listings in her shop, and she's done over $250,000. And she's got a similar approach, right? It's really about knowing the niche. And people say that Etsy shoppers are going to find your listing in search results and probably never look at your shop. Well, that's only actually true if you've got a general store, because the people that are coming back to the shop from us, which is the exact opposite of what people are preaching to you, is that they're coming back because we are specifically niched. We have more stuff that they want to buy. And it's just the power of knowing your niche. If you're trying to do this whole spray and pray thing, or throwing, pasta at the wall to see what sticks, it just means that you are going to have to continually and perpetually be listing. You're going to be chasing the next biggest thing. You're going to have to stay on top of so many other elements, and you're never going to have any kind of linear focus where you can kind of, put your head down and go to work and create, 5 or 6 really good listings, maybe in a week's time. Yes, in an entire week. I don't even think I list more than 2 or 3 new listings a week. And that's a lie. I don't even think I list more than like 5 new listings a month at this point. It's just a matter of like when the inspiration comes, and I pay attention to what my customers say. My next video is going to be all about this too. It's going to be Q4 tips coming up, and I've got like 15 heavy hitting tips that I think you guys are going to love. So I'll probably do that in two chunks of videos there. But enough about the preaching. Tech shirts are where it's at, right? We got to get back into this lesson here, but tech shirts are where it's at. This is a testament here, I guess, to potentially seeing that they're doing a lot of tech shirts. They're also, the advantage here is that you can do them a little quicker. But if I wanted to say, for example, we can go dog shirt, right? And you can see Everbee doing its thing here. So we got dog shirt. We have 2150 monthly searches for the words dog shirt, right? And now dog shirt custom, almost as many. So, this tells me that there's over 4,000 searches for people looking for dog shirt and dog custom shirt. This is like big potential gold mine here, right? So the nice thing about, Everbee that way is you can see the search volume immediately. I'm just going to click on this. You guys know I like to keep it broad, but I want to see like what we're looking at here. So a ton of people are doing some of these, and I do have a tutorial on how to do this. I can link to that probably up here somewhere, but this is the kind of thing that's going to sell, right? Easily distracted by dogs and books. Sorry, I can't have plans with my dog. You guys should know by now that text is what is going to sell. There's a massive resurgence, like, this retro stuff. It's all just text, right? That has been like kind of hot now for almost 2 years already. These are things that have always sold, and they're going to continue to sell, and there's just no way around it, right? Bestseller, look at this. Tell your dog I said hi. Super simple, taking no time to do it, but then it's coming up with the slogans and the sayings, right? And we all know you can, ask ChatGPT, all that stuff. But then one of the things I like about Kittl now is that you guys wanted to learn these tips and tricks. I'm going to show you this one. It's pretty sweet. Kittl has a quote generator built right into their platform. You wanted tips and tricks. This is one that I stumbled on a little while ago, and I wish, I was going to save it for later, but you guys asked for it. I'm like, I need to deliver. It's kind of, I feel like I'm cheating if I hold back on it. 3 simple steps, right? So they've got, a few things here. Generate merchandise quotes that sell. You just click on here, you can move forward, but I just want to show you what it is. So create adventures, collect memories. They made a shirt with it, right? You can copy the shirt and create the design. So the first thing you do is you pick a niche for your quote. Second thing you do is you pick a mood and length. And the third is you generate your quote. Craft unique quotes in seconds, and it just kind of shows you some options here, but we're going to do that. So I'm just going to click generate quotes, and then it says pick your niche, pick mood, copy your quotes. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say stick with the dogs, big dogs. And then I'll click continue, and then we pick a mood. So it says choose the tone. So we can go funny, casting, inspirational. Let's keep it funny. Let's maybe go 5 to 8 words. I don't know if 2 to 4 will be enough. And then we just click generate quotes. And here we are, copy or download your quotes. So you can copy the quotes to a clipboard or download all as a text file. That's awesome. Now you're designing in a niche, so you can download all of these. You can copy paste them into your artboard wherever you're working. If you're working in Kittl, bonus, right? So all you have to do is look at this stuff. My dog's bigger than your dog. Big dogs, bigger hearts. Fueled by kibble, powered by slobber. Appropriate, right? For large breeds, a lot of them have, mastiffs and danes, like Great Dane I have, jowls, and they're wet, kind of gross dogs sometimes. Large dogs love an extra large size. Possum since birth, don't love it. Keep calm and pet the big dog. I think that could do some damage potentially. I like big mutts and I cannot lie. Here we go, right? Big dogs, big love, big mess. Absolutely. So let's go with big dog, big love, big mess. And it just opens the artboard right here. Plops your text already in it. So I'm just going to try this maybe and see what we can do. We can align the text to the left, but let's pick a font and see what we can do here. I like this. Big dog, big love, big mess. So we can probably do a capital B here. Do we want to do all caps? Maybe we'll stack it like this. Don't love it. Maybe we'll move that over here. Something we can do here is hold down Option and then click and drag, and then you've created another one. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I'm kind of lazy. So I'm just going to keep big mess on one line, delete that one, and then in this one we got big dog, big love, big mess. And now we can move these individually. I can probably, maybe I'll make this one on its own line too instead of retyping stuff. That's just how I operate, right? Keyboard shortcuts. I'll make a list for you guys like I said I would. Just gonna center these so I know that they are the same size. While we're centered, if you hold Option, it does it equally, so it just saves you a little bit of time. I actually think I'm going to keep it in line here. So we've got big dog, just doing that, and I'm just trying to line up the left and right size here, and we've got big mess. Right, and then I'm just going to align everything. Now that I know that that's kind of the idea, I'm going to align left, and then I'm going to align all of the text box to the left. So this is how I want it to look on the shirt, right? So like if we're in the middle of the shirt here, this is funny on its own. If you're walking your dog that might have some drool hanging, we used to call them like the shoelaces. It looked like it was just a hanging white string of spit on each side of our Mastiff Dane cross that we had before our big guy, who is named Tonka. This one, our previous one was Brutus. But you can always come down here too to the AI image generator, and we can see what we can add here. So I'll just do aspect ratio of 1:1. Always want to click advanced. Like the turbo's usually pre-selected, but I've advanced for me, it takes a little longer, but it's worth the results. I want to do something that's like simple but fun. Maybe we can do cartoony, and we'll leave it 1:1. And I'm just going to say drooling Mastiff dog head. Let's try that. With Kittl, I find that the less is really and truly more, especially in all aspects of POD, but especially with the AI that Kittl has here. They've trained it really well. We'll see what it spits out. Kind of funny. Let's see if we did anime vector, what it does. If not, this is cute enough and probably do the trick, right? Not bad for a first try. And then we could also, I don't want to replace a letter with it, but we might be able to make this smaller. See what happens here with this one. Yeah, here we go. I like that one a little bit better. So, well, actually, these are both good. The nice thing about Kittl too is you can just, leave your stuff off to the side here. So if we downloaded the artwork here, it would only download what's on this artboard. We're not going to have everything, all the pieces, all the elements that we generated. This one's perfect. But I like the cuteness of this. It seems to go with this font a little more. So what we could do, for example, is move this over a bit, shift click to grab two things, and I might bring it like this, and then drag this up. And what I'm doing here is I'm maintaining the same space, so there's balance between these letters that is the same between these. It's all uniform spacing, right? It's how you create balance. And it's the same amount of space that's between the nearest most part of the ear, but we can probably even move that a little closer. But we're trying to keep, you know, relatively the same idea, right? So we got the same amount of spacing here, relatively speaking, close to the same here. It feels like it's balanced. I might actually make this a little bit bigger. I feel like it looks better if we kind of box that in. So maybe we can try these guys too. What if we brought these bigger? That could work too. Big dog, big love, big mess. But I think I did like them smaller. Big dog, big love, big mess. That's pretty cute. That's funny. So that would be one I would download potentially. And then you could always do something like this where mess is a little smaller, but the word big is there. And then we can always do something like this, just kind of spacing the period here in between the drips. And then we could make this kind of fit around his head. So we create some equal balance. So it's still heavily text-based, but we've added an element here that looks good. It really fits the part, I think. So here we go. We've got really good balance. So the face itself on the right now looks great with the text, the weight of the text on the left. Plain, simple. We just came up with two designs. We could have downloaded the other one first in what, like less than 5 minutes of playing around with this, right? And these are designs that I think would sell. Big dog, big love, big mess. In fact, I'm probably going to download this one and I'll list it on Etsy and Amazon and see if it happens. I might give it to my wife to list in her big dog shop, but I'm definitely going to list it on Merch by Amazon too and see what happens. So that's one of the tips and tricks. Like Kittl's got a ton of really cool features. That's one I'm going to show you. I'm going to do another one next week, of course. Just remember that I do have the links down below for 25% off your Kittl subscription if you want to try it out. You can try it for free, but then it's 25% off even on their annual pro plan, which would save you like $72 on an entire year if you wanted to do that. I've also got links to eRank. I've got the really sweet deal for the Everbee link down below, which I think gets you basically 2 months at half price. And if you want to learn more about design and weighting and balance and how to do things with simple, you know, 2-color designs, it's all about simplicity, but it has to, you know, this looks like it could have taken hours to compose, but it's really simple. You watch me do it. My Inner Circle membership is all about taking out the hurdles that are typically when we see in all the Facebook groups is people say like, I've been at this for 6 months. I've got like 4 sales, you know, nothing's happening. Clearly I need SEO help. My designs are good, so it's got to be SEO. All that does is set a precedent where the people in those groups who would otherwise be generally helpful now are going to tiptoe around the idea that it could be that person's design. Nobody wants to A, hurt anybody's feelings, and B, the person who posted it had set a precedence that they don't believe it's their design. So, you know, you're kind of already introducing some kind of bias there where people are going to feel like not so kind if they have to really be truthful, right? So people are just going to skirt around it and they're going to tell you that maybe I would try this, or maybe I would try this mock-up, or maybe I would try some of this SEO. You've already told people that you believe it's SEO and not your design. But I've seen a lot of the shops from the people that make those posts and it's their designs. And if you have all the best SEO on the planet, you have the best keyword selection, you have all the highest search volumes, but the lowest competition, which also, you know, don't get me started on that one because low competition usually means low demand. But all that SEO on the planet isn't going to get your design to sell if your design doesn't hit the mark or your design sucks. But if your design is awesome and it hits the mark for somebody who might be looking for something for themselves, but they see it and like, oh my gosh, that would be great for this person I know who has a big drooly dog, it's going to sell regardless of that SEO. It showed up for something that maybe they weren't shopping for, but the design hit the mark, so they're going to buy it. That's all there is to it. If the design sucks, you will not make sales. If the design is good, you will inevitably eventually make sales. So SEO, absolutely necessary to get your stuff found, right? You need to get eyes on the prize. But once you get that ball rolling, if your design at the end of the day isn't going to hold its own weight, it's never going to move the needle. So that's what my Inner Circle membership is all about. I'm reopening the gates to it in about 2 weeks, middle of September. It's only $37 a month. I legitimately wanted to keep this less than $10 a week. So, you know, I wanted to make it as accessible to as many people as possible and also make it enough strategically that you feel like you have skin in the game, because we all know from 7 years, 8 years in my Facebook group giving away information for free, we get the same questions over and over. If you guys don't pay to play, you don't listen to the information, right? So once you have a little bit of skin in the game, it's not going to break the bank by any means, but ideally is that you take the advice seriously and you apply it and you make sales, right? You can scroll through the sales page right now, drop your email there to get notified when we do reopen the gates. I'm going to, drop an email, probably send one out in about 2 or 3 days, just to remind everybody of when you can expect those gates to open, because as always, spots will be limited because I want to continue to over deliver as I've been told that I've been doing. In the last 2.5 months, it's been amazing. We're seeing wins. Like, people are coming in who have got 100 sales in the last 2 years, and they've had 80 sales in the 2 months that they've been in the group, right? That kind of thing. So I just want to make sure that, I'm over delivering and promising on everything I do. So there will be, limited spots again. The doors will close again and probably won't reopen until the new year. We're going to let in a little bit more than we normally do, ideally. So hopefully this is a chance for you guys to hit the ground running, actually learn how to make designs that will sell, so you can really maximize your Q4 here and not just be throwing stuff at the wall, hope that something sticks, and then fall flat when January hits, right? February, March already is the slowest part of the year, but the idea is, pumping out quality evergreen designs, getting them ranking so that the first, 6 months of the year aren't just crickets, right? Maybe that's the sales velocity will hopefully carry you over and get you going, right? And then the rest of Q1 and 2 is just getting ready for Q4. So love you guys. Let me know what else you want to learn. I've got a few more tips and tricks with Kittl we're going to do, but I want to break these up into bite-sized chunks so I don't overwhelm you all. So look out for another one in about a week or so. Adios. We'll see you in the next one, and go sign up for the waitlist for my inner circle.